Hello again, Cassandre Xavier with part two of Therapy Thursday, why it was easier for me to be homeless than to apply for disability benefits. And so, what I came up with is that even though it takes effort to be homeless, to live in a shelter, to live on the street, and I also told my therapist, or to date in such a way that I can attract a man with whom I can live for a while. Feelings coming up. Um, it it's less painful for me. Even though it takes effort, doing those things is way less painful than putting the effort that I have put in so far into trying to get a disability. Basically, working within the social service agency system has been very painful for me. I dealt with a lot of different types of case managers and case manager agencies when I was homeless, both on site of the shelter and off site, separate agencies. I was telling my therapist that I even received a program, I forget what it's called, very last minute, while the shelter was trying to discharge me from the shelter. I, at the same time, miraculously, suddenly got this offer of where you get to live someplace for a year, and your rent is paid 70% of your rent is paid. But I was given less than a month to secure a unit. I was given less than a month to find a place. This is after years. For years, I hadn't, looked for an apartment and got an apartment and been employed and did all of that stuff to get an apartment. I was completely out of practice. And then to be rushing to do that while I'm at the same time fighting, getting discharged from the shelter before, like they were totally making up reasons to kick me out. Oh my God. So it was really hard, and so to go from that situation to um, trying to, get the applications to apply for disability. It would take me a long time to get the paperwork. I would get the paperwork and then I would do the thing. Like two times I got psychiatric evaluations, which is what you need. So I got those filled out, but they are only good for 3 months. When you apply for disability, your psych evals have to be 3 months fresh before you do that. So time would pass. So like I'm taking these steps and then these crushing disappointments. To me, they were crushing disappointments. So when I was telling my therapist that that was really hard, um, it goes back to a disappointment I had when I was like 4 years old and I was disappointed by someone. I was getting my hopes up. They were like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then I kept getting disappointed. And at 4, I basically told myself that I would never get my hopes up again. And this is a thing that I'm working on now in my life that's been affecting my musical career, even my love relationship. Um, so that's why. So disappointment. So the breakthrough that I had in therapy was that disappointments are very crushing to me because inside I'm still that 4-year-old girl who is never like I'm so sensitive and getting my hopes up and then disappointed. And so doing the work of like trying to get this paperwork and doing things when you're depressed and going through just not wanting to be around people and doing all of that to then just see nothing ever coming to fruition is just extremely painful. And that's the pain that I couldn't take. I could take sleeping on the floor and have people walk by me and see me, as painful as that is. I could take sleeping on public transportation. I could take that. And so my therapist said, she brought up resiliency and she said, well, you know what, you're very resilient. It's possible that, as a person living on the street, being homeless, living in the shelter, you have a certain amount of resiliency around that where somebody else, but you don't have it around this applying for disability and stuff. And somebody else, they do have it for applying for those things, and but they wouldn't have it for living on the street. So apparently I have a certain amount of resiliency around homelessness, and I don't have it around, paperwork or something. It's very, and so what I told her, looks like it's going to be video number 3 because I want to make these each 5 minutes. Sorry, this is annoying. So thanks. So hopefully you'll come back for video number 3. Thanks. Bye.